Armoni's family says he has a mental health issue and doesn't know how he managed to get his hands on a gun.
He never expressed to me. They called each other best friends. And I seen them together about 2 weeks ago.
It's a sad situation when you got your parents or your grandparents holding up for you, saying that they don't know how you got a gun. You got mental issues, but you knew how to get to the store. You knew how to drive a car. Hell, you know how to even use a gun. And it's another crazy situation when you don't care about getting caught, going to spend the rest of your life in prison. That's how you know we in our last days. People not running and hide no more, trying to do it in dark or trying to be sneaky about nothing. They running right on you and killing you.
First-degree murder charges and held without bond after a deadly shooting inside a Mariano's store in Evergreen Park. Prosecutors say 21-year-old Armoni Henry walked into the Mariano's yesterday morning. Not his girlfriend, 21-year-old Jailene Flores, in a back storage room. Prosecutors say prior to the shooting, Henry confronted Flores for removing an Apple AirTag tracking device he placed in her car without her knowledge. That same day, they add a second order of protection was filed against Henry, and Flores received 124 threatening texts from him as well.
Henry Neal leaves bond court this afternoon after a Cook County judge denies his grandson, Armoni Henry, bail a day after the 21-year-old is accused of fatally shooting his girlfriend at the Evergreen Park Mariano's where she worked.
We loved him so much. We tried our best to work with him, and although he had issues, but he was a good kid.
Armoni Henry was charged with first-degree murder for allegedly shooting 21-year-old Jailene Flores to death inside a grocery store storage room. She had been shot multiple times. Store surveillance video captured the suspect arriving at and then entering the grocery store. Friends say the victim and suspect met in school and became friends. They also worked together at a nursing home in Oaklawn earlier this year. In court, prosecutors say after the suspect had confronted Flores several times, in April of this year, Flores got an order of protection against Henry, but the emergency order that was issued was never served and expired. Armoni's family says he has a mental health issue and doesn't know how he managed to get his hands on a gun.
He never expressed to me. They called each other best friends. And I seen them together about 2 weeks ago.
After the murder, Henry was eventually taken into custody when a license plate reader picked up the location of his red Ford Focus. A 9mm handgun was recovered from his vehicle. The victim's family did not attend today's hearing. The next court date, August 11th.
Man, we back with another crazy story out of Chicago about another ex-boyfriend putting an Apple AirTag tracking device on his ex-girlfriend's car. And then he got mad when he found out she took it off. And she found it a couple of days before he killed her, like July the 10th. Her brother investigated it and said the last four numbers on the tracking device was her ex-boyfriend, last four digits. So they knew it was him. So he confronted her when he found out she found it, located it, and took it off, and threatened, said he was going to kill her and her family. This was before the initial murder. Next time they met again, he walked in the store where she worked at around 9 p.m. She seen him, wanted to be quiet about everything, snatched him and pulled him into the employees only room. Shortly after that, the manager heard multiple gunshots go off. Then he ran out the store. Another crazy situation, don't make no sense. We in our last days. Our daughters, nieces, family members are in danger right now in today's world. And it just don't make no sense. I keep saying a lot of these young people running off emotions. They not thinking with their head. They not thinking about the future. They finna be gone 20, 30 years from now. That's how I know we in our last days. People is not thinking about the after effects of what they doing on a daily basis. People think you could just do something, take somebody's life and go on with your life like everything gonna be okay. But we in our last days, we're going to continue to see these type of disgusting crimes like this. Nowadays, people don't understand no. So, but like I said, this is another crazy situation. Prayers goes out to the young lady family. And unfortunately, this type of crime had to happen. But we in our last days. And our youth is just out of control right now. And everybody want to talk about these kids got a problem. Everybody ain't got no problem. A lot of people know what they doing. It's a sad situation when you got your parents or your grandparents holding up for you, saying that they don't know how you got a gun. You got mental issues, but you knew how to get to the store. You knew how to drive a car. Hell, you know how to even use a gun. And you knew what you was doing before you got to the store. He knew what his intentions was. He knew what he was about to do. So with that being said, I don't understand why people are always trying to talk about, you know, the person who killed somebody or did something wrong. They got mental issues now. Oh, he got mental issues. We don't understand how he got a gun. Once a child or a young man or loved one outside your house, you don't know what they into. And I don't like for parents and grandparents and people to say they don't know how they got like this and they don't know. Yeah, you don't know. They on their best behavior around the house, around you. But when they out in the streets in the neighborhood, they terrorizing shit. Walking around with guns or whatever, you looking at like if you was just, you know, somebody they didn't know, you would be shocked. Because around the house, you never seen them like this. But out around the town and the streets and stuff and they homeboys and homegirls, they wild. And like I said, it don't make no sense. We're in our last days. No murder is justified. And nowadays you got people killing folks. Don't care how many people around, how many cameras. That's how you know we're in our last days. People don't care about getting caught. People don't care about your family or the person, you know, they got hatred in their heart about. They don't care nothing about that. And it's another crazy situation. When you don't care about getting caught, going to spend the rest of your life in prison, that's how you know we're in our last days. People not running and hide no more, trying to do it in dark or trying to be sneaky about nothing. They running right on you and killing you. That's how I know everybody running around with their emotions on their sleeves. They not thinking about nothing. You just going to take people's life and thinking that's justified for you. But you about to go spend the rest of your life in prison. And now his loved ones looking around don't understand why he did it or what's going on. But like I said, we're in our last days, and once the kids leave outside your door, they're a whole different person. You can expect anything from these days, youth. But we starting to see time and time again the same crime committed against our young women. Domestic violence, ex-boyfriend, you know, somebody they was dealing with, decide they want to take their life because they don't want to be with them. This is a crazy world we in. That's how I know we in our last days, when you got people that you can't even break up with, or you can't even tell them, no, let's take a break. It's a crazy situation. We in our last days, where if you say no, you're going to lose your life. It's another crazy situation. But like I said, prayers goes out to the family. Justice will be served. And let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. We out.